All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to Coffee and Crypto, all right? The #1 cryptocurrency morning show in the world. My name is Vincent Owens. I'm your host with the most. Super excited. And guys, this is episode number 14. Episode number 14, man. Every Tuesday and Thursday we're here. I am here with my co-host, the captain, in charge, Travis Pitch. What's going on, bro? How you feeling this morning, man?
Man, bro, I'm feeling more bullish than ever. The narrative is developing, and I'm enjoying it with my popcorn, bro.
Ooh, hey, listen, I couldn't even drink coffee this morning. I got to be real with the world. I had to get my tea, right? I had to sip my tea this morning because it's real. Hey, the crypto market, tea. You need tea. I got to sip. I'm gonna sip my tea this morning. Okay. So with that being said, man, let's get into this bullish content. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and let's get straight to it. All right, perfect. One second, y'all. Let me see who has all right, Billy, let's leave it muted. All right, perfect. Let's go. All right. All right, so we got coin market cap. All right, so I wanted to start here. Okay, it's very important for us to look at the total market. All right. Number one, we got to understand there's over 19,000 cryptocurrencies right now, guys. We're almost at 20,000 cryptocurrencies on coin market cap. And what's so crazy is over the next 6 months, I believe this list is going to exaggerately decline. There's going to be an exaggeration of decline in the market. And so with this decline of the amount of cryptos, where does this money go? Because the money don't just disappear, right? Why? Because as people are getting out of these projects, people are selling off these projects, they're buying something else, right? And so we need to figure out what are smart investors taking their money out, educated investors taking their money out of certain well, really smart investors not even in these mean, but anyway, that's a different story for a different day. All right. But on Coffee and Crypto, our purpose here is to teach you guys how to research, right? We're the #1 researching morning show in the world for crypto, and we really get in our bags, right? So CoinMarketCap is the #1 site that you want to use to be able to research crypto. Now, guys, it's scary right now. Let's go into the market cap of crypto. We're at 948 billion. We're not even $1 trillion market anymore, family. This market is not even $1 trillion market anymore. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? Well, that means that, guys, we were at a 2.8 trillion market cap back. Y'all give me 1 second, please. Billy, can you please mute your line, please? All right. I'm gonna have to. Y'all give me a second, man. I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna stop recording.
Back.
All right, we back. All right. So the global cryptocurrency charts, total cryptocurrency market cap is down under $1 trillion. So right now, okay, what we have to realize is that we are in a state of emergency for cryptocurrency. We are in an extremely red market. All of the levels, the premium levels of support that people thought was going to hold have been broken on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on every single coin, right? Now, this is the total crypto market cap, including Bitcoin. Now, let's go to the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, right? Excluding Bitcoin. So if we look at the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, we're at $516 billion, right? So it's fair to say that Bitcoin makes up around 40% of the market, right? 30 to 40%. And now the altcoins are actually, there's a lot more capital in these altcoins, right? And so understanding that, okay, now what we need to do is go back to our main part, okay? And let's look at the state of these cryptos, right? So right now, Bitcoin is at $22,000. I really felt like I was gonna wake up and it was gonna be under 20K. So we saw a slight increase of $1,000 over the night, but we're down over the last 7 days, 24%. We're down on Ethereum over the last 7 days, 31% at $1,200. So what does that mean? That means that NFTs, everything is down right now, right? It's a complete shit show. All right, Tether has still not made it back to $1. Tether has still not made it back to $1, still at 99 cents. All right, USDC obviously is still at $1. We got Binance at 222, down 20%. And if you guys see right here on this right side of the margin, 7-day percent, XRP down 19%, Cardano down 16%, right? All these projects are down like huge percentages. So what does that mean? That means that these are the times that you want to start dollar cost averaging in. These are the times that you want to start purchasing, you know. So I want to talk about something. So Billy posted inside of the Telegram earlier, and he asked, hey, if I have $1,000, should I put it in Bitcoin? Should I put the whole 1,000 in Ethereum? Should I put the whole 1,000 in XRP, or should I split it up between ISO 222? If Billy or anybody else that's wondering that, I would go with D, right? What I would do is, you got to understand that you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. We know XRP is the truth, but you want to diversify, right? You want to diversify your portfolios in this season. And so that portfolio diversification does not look like, okay, if you have $1,000 specifically for XRP, let's say you have a $10,000 budget, you want to put 1,000 into XRP out of that 10,000. Okay. You don't want to take 1,000 on June 14th and put the whole thing into XRP. Because why? Because if XRP drops from 41 cent down to 30, or drops from 31 cent down to 21 cent, well, you just lost money, right? You're losing money, as people would say, right? Your original investment has decreased. So what you want to do is you want to dollar cost average in. What do I mean by that? So you want to maybe catch it at 41 cent, maybe put $200 in at 41 cent. Be patient. So you got to understand that patience pays in investing, right? So putting a little bit money in at maybe 41 cent, then maybe it drops down to 38 cent, another key area of support, or maybe 35 cent, a key area of support. And so that's why understanding chart analysis is very important, right? Understanding chart analysis is very important, because if you don't understand chart analysis, right? If you don't understand chart analysis, how do you find your entry points? And how do you find your exit points, right? That's what entry and exit is all about. And so if you really want to understand entry points, what you want to do is you really want to get into understanding the analysis of the charts, right? And so let's get back into some more content. So first thing that I want to show you all right, is this group of tweets right here by John Deaton, right? And so this was a thread that I thought was very important. You know, we cover Ripple, like we're following Ripple, like we stalking. Ripple need to put a restraining order on the Vincent Owens Group, because we are stalking the Ripple case, all right? So John Deaton said 20 hours ago, he said, I've also been granted, all right, amicus curiae status on behalf of XRP holders by Judge Torres in the SEC Gov versus Ripple case. Respectfully, what forms the basis of foundation underlining your sense that XRP holders are relying on the efforts of Ripple? For example, are you aware the majority of first-time purchasers of XRP were completely unaware of a company called Ripple and its use of XRP? I agree. Because when I first bought XRP in 2019, I didn't know what Ripple was, right? Until I got educated maybe a year later. I was just buying XRP, didn't know what Ripple was, right? So it was quite difficult to rely on the promises and the efforts of a company you are completely unaware exists. Don't you agree? Are you aware that there has been no evidence whatsoever offered establishing any price correlation, right, or price appreciation with public announcements by Ripple regarding the partnerships they've garnered utilizing XRP? Are you aware of the decentralized nature of the XRPL, which we all know is the XRP Ledger? Now, just to pull up something else, if we go to xrpl.org, all right, and you guys want to make sure that you thumbnail this for yourself, but xrpl.org, all right, This is where you can go and pay attention to everything dealing with the XRP ledger. You can look at their partnerships. You can look at the community. You can look at, what is the utility behind the XRP ledger? Why are people, because the XRP ledger is important because the XRP ledger is where companies, not people, but companies build their decentralized applications, exchanges, NFTs, whatever, they're going to build that on the XRP ledger. So that's where you get your decentralized exchange. That's where you do your cryptocurrency payments, cross-currency payments. That's where your payment channels are. That's where your tokenomics is, right? So everything is inside of the XRPL, okay? So let's keep going. Are you aware that Ripple controls less than 4% of the validators on the XRPL? Now, this was a big one, right? Less than 4% of the validators on the XRPL. All right. Are you aware Ripple recommended a change on the XRPL and it was initially vetoed by the validators? Are you aware that it takes 80% consensus to approve a change or modification on the XRPL? Let's keep going, right? Are you aware? My man making us aware right now. Are you aware that Japan, Singapore, the UK, Switzerland, the UA, and others have declared XRP a non-security token? So why in the heck is SEC suddenly claimed XRP as a security after allowing it to trade for 7.5 years in the US? Are you aware that XRP was the first regulated cryptocurrency in the US when FinCEN and the DOJ classified it a convertible virtual currency in 2015 and forced Ripple to comply with the banking laws of the US, not the security laws, right? So why is that important? Well, here's another really big website for you all, for my researchers out there, cryptolaw.us. John Deaton talks about this website all the time. And so you can go in here and go to the document library and you can find documents from the past, right? You can find documents from the past. I actually just saw some, look right here, XRP holders asked judge to file amicus brief, right? So Deaton explains it here. So if you really want to dive deep into this information, what you want to do is make sure that you guys go on this website, look into the history of the documents and really get bullish for yourself, right? One last thing is this, right? You got to be aware that the former CFTC chairman, Giancarlo, co-authored an analysis concluding XRP is not a security. So this is what, this is why, and if you guys didn't hear about it, BitBoy Crypto, he said that that XRP about a year ago, and he had a source from Consensus 2022, that XRP about a year ago, they had a chance to settle the case. And they know for a fact that they are going to win this case. They are 100% sure that they're going to win this case. So it is said right now that they denied a settlement a year ago. And I believe that was a good thing. And the reason why is because when they denied the settlement, XRP was over $1, right? If they had denied the settlement, you got to understand that there was the market was already pushing high. And it doesn't matter about what happens in this settlement, because at the end of the day, chart analysis is chart analysis, right? Psychology of the charts and psychology of investors is still the same, right? You have different different parts, cycles, right? The market cycles. So market cycles don't lie. So the fact that Ripple said, you know what? We're going to hold off and we're going to go ahead and go for winning this case. Now XRP is at a lower price point, which means that now with this case, we should be able to see a lot of bullish momentum because that push up, right, to the upside has now settled. We've seen that down. So we've seen the market crash. And now what we're going to enter is maybe a year, over the next year, we'll start to see these prices start to just move maybe sideways, but they'll start to go up gradually. in a channel. That's what happens when it comes to market cycles. So we're exactly where we need to be, all right, in this market. Now, what I want to do is, I know, look, I don't want to do too much because I do a lot of research. Trav, what's going on, bro? What do you have on your end? I got a lot of other information too, but I want to give you, you know what I'm saying, definitely want to give you your chance to hop in, maybe voice your opinion on what Deaton said, or, you know, give some value.
I'm excited for today, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Today is a good day. And there's a lot of uncertainty. I'm sure among our students, there's a lot of uncertainty right now. You guys have seen the bearish sentiment in the market, and I'm gonna dive right into it and the reason for that. So I've been studying governmental economic policies for about the last year and a half or so. And I want to dive into this article from the New York Times. So it says, the Fed may discuss the biggest interest rate hike increase since 1994. They all know what's going to happen. The markets are already pricing in these interest rate hikes. The Federal Reserve is likely to discuss making its biggest interest rate increase since 1994 at its meeting this week, as a range of new data suggests that inflation is coming in hotter and proving more stubborn than policymakers had hoped. So they tell us that it's more stubborn and they want to bet it's higher than they had hoped. But I want to show you guys a quick video from my Instagram, actually, that we actually knew since about November that this was going to happen.
My stories from November 28th, 2021, where I told you guys right here, inflation is coming, a crash is coming. I don't recommend stocks right now. The market's over leveraged. Wait till after the crash. So here I give you guys a little context. Chinese property giant Evergrande has defaulted. They're the second largest real estate company in the world, and defaulting will send shockwaves through the very fragile financial market. So here I have another story from January 22nd. Type this in Google and read some of the articles. Economic crisis 2022. Biden's economy is failing the Big Mac test. No, folks, we are not talking about McDonald's. Macro. So here's another story. February 22nd, we're heading into a terrible recession. What a time to...
So I wanted to bring that up because if you can look for the signs, if you can study what's going on in the governmental policies and in the markets and the things that they're putting in the news, you can overall determine the trajectory of the market. The markets are now bracing for the possibility of bigger Fed interest rate hikes ahead. The stock market has went down 10 weeks in the last 11 weeks, consistent red. The last time that happened was the Great Depression.
Wow.
Another reason why the crypto market is going down is because a major reputable firm called Celsius actually just froze withdrawals, and they're sending the major currencies down. In a letter, Celsius, with 1.7 million depositors, suggested it lacked the funds to honor withdrawal requests. Mm-hmm. So they're reading between the lines on this sentence right here. They're reading between the lines, suggesting that it lacked the funds to honor withdrawal requests. They activated a term in their contract that's saying that they can freeze the withdrawals. It's something very in fine print that the average investor is not going to find. It's a clause in their contract that allows them to freeze the withdrawals. And that in turn, because the prices are crashing, people's accounts are locked, they cannot add more capital to their loans. Celsius is a platform that allows you to take loans out against your digital assets. Now, when these assets are locked and you can't withdraw or deposit or swap or transfer, you can't add to your loan, because as the prices of crypto are going down, when your loan is getting close to being liquidated, you have to add more capital because the price of the crypto is not worth as much as it was before. This is going to trigger massive liquidations, and they know that. And I want to go into this. 1 second. Celsius offers exceedingly high returns to those who deposit crypto with it. Before the halt, the rate was 18.6%, a multiple many times that of traditional banks, and in the past has climbed as high as 30%. That has led critics to say it does not have the assets on hand to back up the deposits should enough investors demand their money back. And that is why they have halted their withdrawals. At the current prices of crypto, they don't have the money. There's a liquidity crisis. Now, because of this liquidity crisis and the halting that they've placed, crypto lending firm Celsius Network and Gemini face SEC scrutiny. So the SEC is the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, is scrutinizing cryptocurrency firms Celsius Network, Voyager Digital Limited, and Gemini Trust Co. as part of a broad inquiry into companies that pay interest on virtual token deposits, according to people familiar with the matter. Notice how they don't say who it is. They don't give you a source. You got to pay attention to those type of things. The SEC enforcement review focuses on whether the company's offerings should be registered as securities with the watchdog, said the people, once again, who weren't authorized to speak publicly. There's no sources in media anymore. They just kind of just put information out and people accept it. And this is from Bloomberg, one of the most reputable financial agencies in the media, in the mainstream media.
Hey Trav, could I when you finish with this article, could I show something just to kind of show something from the past from
Yes, sure. I just got one more sentence I wanted to show you guys. Okay. The probes add to uncertainty for the burgeoning sector, which is grappling with sharply falling coin prices. Bitcoin earlier this month plunged 50%. So they're putting this fear into the marketplace. They are going to try to add uncertainty when, in fact, we know for a 100% fact that there's nothing less certain than the future of cryptocurrency in blockchain technology. Go ahead, Vince.
Appreciate it, bro. So just to piggyback off of what you said, I found a tweet earlier. And so I'm pretty sure you saw this too, but this is from XRP Crypto Wolf, right? And so I thought this was pretty interesting, but this was from Celsius back in 2019. This was a tweet. If you don't have free and unlimited access to your funds, are they really your funds? Unbank yourself with Celsius and join the next generation of financial services. No fees, no penalties, no lockups. Let's profit. And then look at this right here. Now, 2 years later, 3 years later, Celsius Network is pausing all withdrawals, swaps, and transfers between accounts. Acting in the interest of our community is our top priority. That's always a red flag. I heard that from Travis. Anytime they got the interest of us, like anytime they start talking about our best interests, I start to veer away from it now. So shout out to Trav for that gem that time. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Awesome. I'm going to keep going with where I was going with it then, bro.
Rocking, bro.
All right. So you notice that now the SEC is investigating Celsius. Just a couple weeks ago, we have a huge crisis where we've already talked about on this show. I'm not going to go too long into it, where Terra Luna crashed. They went from $60 billion to zero overnight. They're also now being investigated, and they have officially reported that Do Kwon, who is the founder of Terra Luna, was able to withdraw $2.7 billion from Luna prior to the crash. He's now snitching on everyone to stop himself from going to jail. Damn. Now, not only did Celsius stop withdrawals, but Binance, the largest exchange in the world, also paused Bitcoin withdrawals for several hours on Monday due to a stuck transaction, which could not be less further from the truth. These things always tend to happen at the worst times when prices are falling. And as a result of that, Binance has also come under investigation. The US SEC is now investigating Binance, whether the BNB was a security when sold in 2017. Very similar situation to what happened against Ripple. They held an initial coin offering. There was no issue. They became the 5th largest cryptocurrency in the world. And then, wow, now they're being investigated. Why would you, if you wanted to protect investors, wait 5 years for people to get their money all the way to this point, begin to start investigating and then drop the price of the cryptocurrency? The SEC is not for your best interest, folks. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up these crises and the SEC probing into companies is because this weekend, this past weekend, there was an event called Consensus 2022. It was one of the largest crypto events where major crypto companies came together at a conference. And I want to show you guys the first sentence of an article that just came out this morning, 39 minutes ago, from Cointelegraph, which is a known propaganda arm. So it says, despite crypto winter, the conference drew 17,000 people to discuss the crypto regulatory landscape. The very first sentence.
Yes.
Regulations. So regulations are actually a good thing. And I'm going to go into that very shortly.
And I believe, and something that I believe is regulation is a good thing and bills are a good thing, but they don't always come from the right people.
This is correct.
Yeah.
So crypto's regulatory landscape in the United States. Regulations were also heavily discussed at the conference, as this shouldn't come as a surprise, as a number of key regulatory events took place leading up to the event. For example, the bipartisan crypto bill, also known as the Responsible Financial Innovation Act, was introduced in the United States Senate on June 7th. According to a statement, the bipartisan bill sponsored by Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming and Senator Gillibrand of New York addresses CFTC and SEC jurisdiction, stablecoin regulation, banking, tax treatment of digital assets, and interagency coordination. So moving forward, I wanted to show you guys one last article, and then I'm going to pass it over to my main man, Vince. JP Morgan on its crypto plans. The overall goal is to bring these trillions of dollars of assets into DeFi, which is not with a B, that's with a T, folks. Trillions. So there was a gentleman by the name of Tyrone Lubin, who is the head of Onyx Digital Assets at JP Morgan. It's a branch of JP Morgan, their digital assets firm. He says, over time, and this is live at the conference in Texas, over time, we think tokenizing US treasuries, which is the treasury bonds market, or money market fund shares, for example, means these could all potentially be used as collateral in DeFi pools. The overall goal is to bring these trillions of dollars of assets into DeFi so that we can use these new mechanisms for trading, borrowing, and lending, but with the scale of institutional assets. Keywords right there. Now, the reason why I brought up this article is because the state of the market right now is very uncertain. It's very uncertain for a lot of people. A lot of people have been calling me, asking me about their assets. What's the plan? Should I pull out? Should I stay in? What are you going to do? Should I buy more? And this is why I want to tell you guys, folks, that you can still get very, very wealthy in cryptocurrency. We're still very, very early. And this is the direction. The largest bank in America, JP Morgan Chase, has the head of their digital assets firm telling people there's going to be trillions of dollars coming in. So just hold tight, relax, drink some coffee, hop on our show. And I want to finish it off with this last thing. So this is a research paper. It's from the provost of Harvard. The Office of the Provost of Harvard. It just came out, This is a new research paper, Office of the Vice Provost for the Advances in Learning. And the title of it is very interesting. The Road to US Digital Dollar. The Road to US Digital Dollar, an integrated cross-border payment solution, which we know our favorite cryptocurrency, XRP Ripple, that is exactly what it is. And even in this research paper, they're describing the basics of XLM and XRP blockchains. And I'm going to finish it off with one more clip. My airdrop wasn't working, so I had to text it to Vince. Sorry, guys. But this is the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, high-fiving Draymond Green at the NBA Finals last night. Does that look like a man that's scared by the SEC? No, it does not. That is not a man frightened by the SEC. He is out living his life. And I wanna address that issue because things are about timing. And as much as I try to stay away from conspiracy theories and you know, these type of things, they are real. And that was a plant. They planted him, and him high-fiving an NBA player. You didn't see the whole thing, but Draymond dramatically flew into the crowd and landed on the CEO of Ripple. And that's how I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna pass it back to you, Vince.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, listen, super bullish, man. I'm like, man, look, I'm about to just keep it going. I'm about to keep it going. So let's keep it processing right now. So I showed you guys this, right? This tweet here. But it was a couple other things I wanted to show you all. So I made some bookmarks specifically for this call right here. All right. And so I'm glad that Travis went into regulation because, you know, we really bounce off of each other very, very well on this call. And so a couple of things I want to show you all is first off, these are two billionaires. All right. So breaking news, Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z to fund Bitcoin education for public housing residents in New York, right? In the I believe it's the Marshies or the Marcies, you know, or the apartments, the hood that Jay-Z grew up in. All right. So I wanted to show you guys this. It's not that important, but what's important about it is very simple. If billionaires are funding a Bitcoin education for public, it ain't going nowhere. That's the first thing, right? Now, the second thing that I want to jump into is this from Grayscale. All right, this was an interview that Grayscale did with a lady named K.M. Smith, all right, also known as Kristen Smith. She is the executive director for the Blockchain Association. So I want you to listen to these two videos that she posted out.
So the Blockchain Association represents all sorts of different actors within the crypto ecosystem. So investors, asset managers, Bitcoin miners, custodians.
Oops, not sure what happened. Hold on one second, y'all.
It's all sorts of different actors within the crypto ecosystem. So investors, asset managers, Bitcoin miners, custodians, exchanges, projects that are building networks, building on top of networks. So many different types of players. And so we cover a lot of different issues, but I would say generally they fall into roughly 5 buckets. One is interest in figuring out the climate impact of various blockchain activities. So we spend a lot of time doing education on that. Another is tax policy. This was a big deal last summer when the infrastructure bill was being debated that put some new requirements for information tax reporting into law. So we spend a lot of time working on that. Illicit finance is a big issue. The government has, at the federal level, has taken a lot of steps to issue guidance. There's a lot of regulations that are in place today to prevent the bad guys from using crypto for whatever crime it is they're trying to do. But there's an ongoing debate on if those policies need to change, and we're engaged in that. Stable coins, which has been a very hot topic, in recent weeks, but also going all the way back to 2019 when Facebook first announced its now sort of sold Libra project. Figuring out the right regulatory framework for stablecoins has been a big issue. And then sort of last but not least are all of the issues that touch securities laws and commodities laws. And this is one that gets a little bit more complicated. There are many issues with that, from how do you classify a token as a commodity versus a security? How do you deal with custody in this space? How do you go about doing spot market regulation? And then, how do we find the right environment for a Bitcoin ETF and other types of ETFs to be approved?
So that was the first video, right? Then she goes into another video where she explains a regulation under the CFTC. So she doesn't talk about the SEC, and we talk about the SEC is potentially going to be abolished, right? And so I want to show you guys who she is. So I went to her LinkedIn. Y'all know I'm nosy. I went to her LinkedIn, and the first thing I saw is crypto here for good. I was like, okay. So it's here for good. And then I went and looked at, what does she do? And so, she spoke at the DeFi retreat in San Diego. Also, if we scroll down, she's the independent director for Skybridge, I already know Travis multi-advisor hedge fund portfolios LLC and Skybridge G2 fund. All right, so Skybridge is a huge, all right, hedge fund. Then she's a member of the board of directors of Filecoin. All right, so she's a member of the board of directors for Filecoin. You guys want to jump into Filecoin and just look at what Filecoin does. Filecoin is a gem. All right. I don't have Filecoin in my portfolio, but this time right here is a great time to maybe add it to your portfolio. Everything's down. So that's a gem to write down. Okay. She's the executive director since 2018 for Blockchain Association. But this is what really interested me. Let's go to her history. The United States Senate. United States Senate, 5 years, 5 months. Legislative assistant to the Senator Olympia Snowe, staff assistant to Senator Conrad Burns, and everything else, right? She's been director of public policy. She's a lobbyist for the Alpine Group. So you guys see, like, this lady is super plugged in to what's going on. Then you go to her page. Kristen runs the Blockchain Association, where she leads the crypto industry's development of a strategic roadmap for public policy. So that's her main focus, is public policy, right? She has degrees from NYU, degrees from all over, right? So this lady is super plugged in and knowledgeable to what's going on in the space. Now, let's keep going right now. What I wanted to do was pull up this right here. Now, this video right here.
Question about this is going over 8 trillion euros now. And isn't what you just told us about the cryptocurrencies, don't we see a gigantic bubble here on your balance sheet with the euro? And isn't this graph very nerve-wracking?
Well, I can tell you that there is 0 crypto assets in the balance sheet of the ECB.
That I know.
Point number one. Well, I just don't want any ambiguity about it.
Yeah.
But you have to think in terms of counterfactual. If we had not decided 0 crypto assets in the balance sheet of the ECB.
So if you guys don't know who this is, do your research, all right? But listen, the European Central Bank, that's what she was talking about with the ECB, the European Central Bank. Yo, Travis, what's her name again? I can't, it's not on my mind right now. What's
I just dropped it in the chat. It's Christine Lagarde.
Christine Lagarde. That's it, Christine Lagarde. All right, so listen up, guys.
No.
Point number one. Well, I just don't want any ambiguity about it.
Yeah.
But you have to think in terms of counterfactual. If we had not decided on March 18th, when we put together the pandemic emergency program and then subsequently increased the volume of commitment that we made to the European Union economies, we would be in a devastated situation. So I don't regret any of that move that we took on that day, which was 4 months into my job, to significantly increase the size of the balance sheet, because that's all we had.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the economy would have collapsed and it would have been even accelerated by a financial crisis.
You had to do it. It was
So-
the COVID crisis. You say that's what we
Yes.
needed to do. But how do you get it?
It will
Back.
come. It will come. In due course. Yeah.
How?
In due
How?
course, it will come.
Yeah.
If the size of your debt
Now, all right, in due course, it will come. All right, now I want you guys to listen to this. Now, this is Dr. I'm probably butcher her name, but Pippa Malmgren. All right, if y'all don't know who Pippa is, I'm gonna show you who she is here in a second. But listen, I need y'all to really listen to this.
is so big that it can't be paid off. And in fact, even inflation, which is the usual way you would seek to default on your debt slowly over time, you can't get enough inflation generated. Then there is one further option, and that is you literally abandon the entire system of money and accounting. And I know that sounds unbelievably radical, but we've seen it happen before. And I explained the example of Britain in 1834, when they abandoned the traditional system they'd used for 1,000 years at that time, which was called the tally stick system. Anyway, bottom line was, why would you abandon a system that's worked perfectly beautifully for 1,000 years? And
Listen. I got to run this back real quick.
they'd used for inflation generated.
Due course, it will come.
Yeah.
If the size of your debt problem is so big that it can't be paid off, and in fact, even inflation, which is the usual way you would seek to default on your debt slowly over time, you can't get enough inflation generated, then there is one further option, and that is you literally abandon the entire system of money and accounting. And I know that sounds unbelievably radical, but we've seen it happen before. And I explained
Oops, not sure what happened there, but let me run it back.
entire system of money and accounting. And I know that sounds unbelievably radical, but we've seen it happen before. And I explained the example of Britain in 1834, when they abandoned the traditional system they'd used for 1,000 years at that time, which was called the tally stick system. Anyway, bottom line was, why would you abandon a system that's worked perfectly beautifully for 1,000 years? And the answer is, you had 200 years of war debts that had accumulated. They were unable to get inflation up enough without causing social unrest. And so the government said, hey, let's actually take the tally sticks back and give people this great new innovation called paper money. In fact, we're on the brink of a similar step change. And the way you'll do it is you're going to move to electronic money in conjunction with blockchain. Blockchain is the new ledger and e-money is the new currency. The question is, whose e-money?
Hold up. Run it one more time.
People this great new innovation called paper money. In fact, we're on the brink of a similar step change. And the way you'll do it is you're going to move to electronic money in conjunction with blockchain. Blockchain is the new ledger and e-money is the new currency. The question is, whose e-money?
The question is, whose e-money? XRP, XLM. That's the answer, right? That's the answer. XRP.
That's a good answer.
That's my answer. You know,
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer, right, Trav? So let's push a little forward. So we talked about Dr. Pippa, right? So I was really in my bag. I'm looking. I'm like, Dr. Pippa. You know, who is Dr. Pippa, right? So then I found this video right here. World Government Summit of Pippa Malmgren on digital currencies. Listen up.
Bit late for that. I remember talking to an Australian diplomat at one point about this break between the US and China and said, you know, both sides are going to say, whose team are you on? And he said, our job is to make sure the question never arises. But the question has arisen. And so I think we have to go deeper. And it's not about the US versus China. It's about what underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard and I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in 71. And so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means
her father, all right, was an advisor to Nixon. Nixon was the reason why SWIFT came into place. SWIFT does not work anymore. And you heard what she said on the last one, that legacy system is default. All right, it's like an 1800 legacy system now. It's time for a brand new system. That new system is blockchain, all right, and ledger, digital ledger technology, DLT. All right, so then a couple more things before I finish. I went on Washington Post, right? And they had the Evolution of Money conference, right? Cryptocurrency regulations. And so you had all these different people. So it says the rise and volatility of cryptocurrency industry is drawing growing attention from regulators in Washington. All right, you got to join Washington Post Live for conversations with Rostin Benham, all right, chair of the CFTC, which we just talked about, right? You also got Kristen Gillibrand, who is also the Democrat, and then Cynthia Loomis. These are the two people that are creating the bill for regulation of stable coins. All right, then you have Dante Disparti, who is the CSO, head global policy at Circle, right? Then you had this guy right here, Tomika Tillman, global chief policy officer at Hahn Ventures. Now, I was like, Hahn Ventures, right? And a lot of people be skipping stuff over, and that's why people miss stuff. And so Hahn Ventures, I never heard of it. So I'm like, Hahn Ventures. Let me go figure out what this is. So I want, for my lady bosses out there, I need y'all to listen up.
What's Wall Street buzzing about today? Venture capitalist and crypto investor Katie Hahn. After leaving her high-profile role at Andreessen Horowitz last year, Hahn now breaking records with her $1.5 billion debut fund. Kate Rooney exclusively sat down with Hahn in her first interview after leaving Andreessen. Kate, tell us more. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, this is the largest debut venture capital fund ever by a female founder and the biggest debut crypto fund, according to PitchBook. Hahn Ventures is going to be split into two parts. It's $500 million for early stage investments and $1 billion for the later stage growth side. Hahn led and co-led Andreessen Horowitz's multi-billion-dollar crypto funds before leaving the firm in December. She was an early investor in Coinbase and sits on that company's board. She says a smaller team will help her be more nimble. Hahn also tells me Bitcoin prices and publicly traded crypto companies getting hit is not spilling over to private startups quite yet.
We're still seeing very high valuations in the crypto space. I will say, though, that some of those high valuations, some of those companies are actually profitable and have metrics that you can go look at. And so I think it's important that we don't treat crypto and Web3 as a monolith, because they really are very different in terms of what problem they're tackling and different projects out there.
Hahn has invested through multiple bear markets, sometimes called crypto winters, and says that's when some of the best companies are built. And as far as where the opportunities are, she mentions blockchain gaming and identity verification. Sarah.
Blockchain gaming and identity verification.
I want to add into that real quick though, Vince.
No problem.
Do you notice, folks, how she said during the bear market is when
any big major institution
I'm not sure what
that
that
has
is.
a lot of centralized power is really being called into question. I think that it's important to always look to what the solution.
Okay, we're good. Sorry about that, brother.
No, you're all good, bro. She said, folks, that during the bear market is when some of the most important companies are built, which is what I want to lead back to you all. This is a bear market right now, but this is the opportunity. And that's all I got. Go ahead.
Right. So Hahn, this is their website, right? I was so confused on this website. I'm like, Hahn, there was nothing. I can't scroll. It said dawn of a new web. Then I clicked on right here where it said mirror, and it brought something else up, right? Mirror.xyz, introducing Hahn Ventures by Katie Hahn. All right, today we're introducing Hahn Ventures, a firm designed from the ground up to help founders build the next generation of the internet. We've raised $1.5 billion in capital to support the growth of Web3. We'll invest through two platforms, a $500 million early stage fund and a $1 billion acceleration fund, right? So this right here really shows her path to Web3, right? She was working with the U.S. Department of Justice for a while. You know what I'm saying? She got recruited by Brian Armstrong to the Coinbase board in 2017. And that's where her interest really got into the Web3 space. So, you know, I just wanted to share this extra nugget with you all, that, you know, if you have goals and, you know, you're like, man, you feel like this industry of blockchain may be really influenced by men in the space, I want you to understand that women are definitely taking over and women are definitely leading. My goal today was to show a lot of powerful women in the space, right? That's why I showed a lot of powerful women to really influence and encourage you all to really understand that this is the time, this is the space. And in a bear market, again, all right, the greatest companies are built. So that's what she did. She said, you know what? It's a bear market. We're going to introduce Hahn Ventures and we're going to get some VC money and really get this thing rolling out. So yeah, man, you know, a lot of information today. It was a lot of great information, a lot of valuable information. And one last key nugget that I want to give you all. I want to let you know that I have not invested personally into it yet, but my eyes is on it. I was introduced through YouTube, through a lady that we all know. Her name, we all know her name. If you pull out your US dollar right now, can we drop who that lady is in the chat box? If you pull out any US dollar from the $1 all the way up to the $100, her name is Rosie Rios, all right, the baddest woman in economics right now, all right? She owns all the money. I want to show you guys something real quick, all right? If you get off this, shame on you. Unicoin, all right, Unicoin, all right? Currency that pays dividends, all right? So I was scrolling down. It was, you know, Fortune, CNBC, investing.com. Right then I was scrolling down and said coin holders will be stakeholders of a global fund of innovations. Then we have invite your location at the United States. I kept scrolling, right? Portfolio size, $220 billion. All right. So I kept scrolling. Unicoin is the official coin and project of unicorn hunters. Okay. So who are the unicorn hunters?
That's us.
That's us. But look at this one here. Rosie Rios. Rosie Rios. I mean, there's a lot of other people too. All right, let's not get it mistaken. All right, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. All right, but sorry about that. But Rosie Rios is on the board. All right, right here, Mrs. Rios' signature appears on a record 1.7 trillion in circulation worldwide. So, you know, I would highly recommend, you know, that you guys go and look at this. Again, I have not invested into this. This is not a paid sponsorship, nothing like that. I just wanted to bring something to the light that I felt like, you know, you all would be able to maybe find some value from. Go do your own research. And again, I stay bullish, my friends. So with that being said, listen, this was the next episode of Coffee and Crypto. Make sure you guys stick around the private community for Q&A after this. Thank y'all so much. And listen, if you're seeing this on YouTube, make sure you, again, subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on and like this video and share it with somebody because it definitely will help people flourish in this space. Thank y'all again and see you on the next episode. Let's go.